Let's try that again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm Rabbi Lockitz. Welcome to Beit Shalom in our Shabbat morning service. Standing at the reading desk behind me is Cantor Seeger, and playing that beautiful piano music was Amelia Flagel, who will be continuing to play for our prayers throughout the morning. And I think many of you know that young woman up on the pulpit. Maybe that's why you're here this morning in our congregation. Halle Rubin is becoming a bat mitzvah this morning, and we're so excited to celebrate with her and with her family. And to her left is Marsh Walzer, who is a member of our board. He's the past president of the congregation, and he represents the congregation on the pulpit this morning. And sitting to Halle's right is Rabbi Crimmings. And together we welcome you and say Shabbat Shalom. We are going to be praying this morning using our Beit Shalom Shabbat morning prayer book, which is the loose leaf bound prayer book you can find nearby. It has sort of a gray cover with a picture of the ark. So you can find it and turn to page 4. If you're familiar with the prayers, we hope you'll participate with us. If you're not familiar, our prayer book is full of commentaries and explanations that you can follow as we go through the service. So as I said, we're going to begin on page 4 with just 2 more clues about the prayer book. One is that when you see italicized print in English, that's when we will read together as a congregation. And number 2, a general statement about our entire morning, which is that we don't need any electronics, phones or cameras or anything like that. So as we're singing our opening prayer on page 4, now would be a good time to make sure that those things are turned off so they're not a distraction during the service. Page 4. Let's turn to page 6 and join together in our blessing for Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who hallows us with your mitzvot and commands us to engage in the study of Torah. Together.
Eternal our God, make the words of your Torah sweet to us and to the house of Israel, your people, that we and our children may be lovers of your name and students of your Torah. Blessed is Adonai, the teacher of Torah to your people Israel.
And we continue on page 7, singing together the words of Elu Devarim.
Devarim she'en lahem shiur, Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur, Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur, le'Elohim. Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur, Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur, Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur, le'Elohim. Kibud Ashkamat Beit Hamidrash Shacharit Ve'Havit. Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur, Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur, Elu devarim she'en lahem shiur, ve'Elohim. Ve'achnasat orchim בהשכנת וביד המת ביום תפילה בהבאת שלום בין אדם לחברו ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם ותלמוד תורה כנגד כולם אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור We turn to page 9 and continue with our Nisim B'chol Yom, praises for everyday miracles.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
who opens the eyes of the blind.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
who clothes with awareness.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who frees the captive. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who lifts up the fallen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who spreads out the earth upon the waters. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who makes firm our steps. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who gives strength to the weary. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who forms me in the image of God. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me to be free. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who has made me a Jew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who girds Israel with strength. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who crowns Israel with splendor. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, who provides for all my needs. The Chatzi Kaddish is on page 12.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alman yivarach yirutei ve'yamlich malchutei.
B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, u'vizman kariv. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam le'amei amaya, yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha
Berichu
Berichu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata
Tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran v'yama. Amen.
Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due.
Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due, now and forever.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer or uvorei choshech, Osei shalom uvorei et hakol, Hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha berachamim, Uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit, Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, Kulam b'chochma asita, Mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha, Tit barach Adonai Eloheinu, Al shavach ma'aseh yadecha, Ve'al me'orei or she'asita yefarucha sela, Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir, V'nizkeh hulanu mehera le'oro, Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer ha'me'orot. Let's turn in our prayer books to page 14, and we'll read responsively in English. Deep is your love for us, abiding your compassion. From of old we have put our trust in you, and you have taught us the laws of life. Be gracious now to us, that we may understand and fulfill the teachings of your word.
Enlighten our eyes in your Torah, that we may cling to your mitzvot. Unite our hearts to love and revere your name. We trust in you and rejoice in your saving power, for you are the source of our help. You have called us and drawn us near to you in faithfulness. Joyfully we lift up our voices and proclaim your unity, O God. In love you have called us to your service. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. You may be seated as we continue on page 16.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'aderech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeit yadchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet.
Let's turn to page 17 in our prayer books, and we'll read responsively. True and enduring, beloved and precious, awesome, good, and beautiful is this eternal teaching.
This truth we hold to be forever certain. The eternal God is our ruler. You are the rock of Jacob, our protecting shield.
You abide through all generations. Your name is eternal. Your throne stands firm. Your sovereignty and faithfulness are everlasting.
Your words live and endure, true and precious to all eternity.
Adonai, our God, you redeemed us from Egypt.
You set us free from the house of bondage.
For this, the people who felt your love sing songs of praise to you.
The living God, high and exalted, mighty and awesome.
Who humbles the proud and raises the lowly, who frees the captive and redeems the oppressed.
Who is the answer to all who cry out? All praise to God Most High, the source of blessing.
Like Moses, Miriam, and Israel, we sing to you this song of rejoicing.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, nora tehilot osef ele, shira harasha, shibechu geulim leshimcha, asafot hayom, yahad kulam otu, v'him lichu, v'yameru, Adonai imloch, Adonai imloch, le'olam va'ed. Tzur Yisrael, kum ha'be'ezrat Yisrael, u'v'techinu mecha, Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Golenu, Adonai tzvaot shemo, Kadosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai. Ga'al Yisrael. Adonai sevatai tiftach ufi agid hilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem, Leman Shemo V'Yahava, Melech Hozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid Hatah, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofeh Cholim, Umatir Hasurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'gevurot, Umido Melech, Melech B'mit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lahayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Nekadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Hashem shemakdishim oto b'shnei marom, kakatuv al yad neviecha, v'kara zel zeh ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai. Avinu Humalkeinu, Humoshienu Vehu Yashvienu, Birachamav Le'enei Kochai, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Tzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah. Ledor Vador Nagid Golecha, Ulanetach Netachim Kedushacha Nakdish, V'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu no yamush, Le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
You may be seated, and we'll continue singing together on the bottom of page 22 with Yismechu.
Yismechu b'malechutcha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutcha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei shevi Shabbat, kulam yisvehu, v'yitangu mituvacha Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. V'hashvi ratzita bo v'kidashto Shabbat, lehulat yamim oto karata Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Zeicher l'maaseh v'reishit Shabbat, Zeicher l'maaseh v'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat.
We'll continue now for a few moments of silent prayer. You can use the words that are in our prayer book through page 27 or the words in your own heart.
Shalom Aleinu ve'akol Yisrael ve'imeru
As I noted at the beginning of our service this morning, many of you have gathered to be present as Halle Rubin becomes a bat mitzvah. The reality is that many of you have been present throughout the entire process, which started many, many years ago, because becoming bat mitzvah is not something that happens on any one given day. It's something we celebrate on a particular day, but it's a process that one goes through in order to have their status noted as bat mitzvah, as one who has considered an adult in our community, one who has done the various different things we ask them to do, learn to read Hebrew and be able to deliver a message from our Torah and lead us in prayer, but also to live their life in a certain way, to observe rituals and holidays, and to take the ideas of tikkun olam, of the Jewish value of making the world a better place, into their heart and into the way that they live. And Halle has indeed done all of those things. And so it is a great honor that we get to celebrate with her today this process of becoming a bat mitzvah. So we are going to call her to the bima, Chaya, as she prepares. No applause needed. We're all feeling the same way. Page 28 in the prayer book.
Happy is the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding, for its fruits are better than silver, its yield than fine gold. It is more precious than rubies, no treasure can match it. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed, al ha'torah, ve'al ha'avodah, ve'al gemilut hasadim. The world stands on three things, on Torah, worship, and loving deeds.
We are going to rise in just a moment, but as we rise, call Ryan and Regan and Brenna Gross to the bima to help us open the ark. And Halle's chain of tradition, which includes many people, so I want to read their names: Joyce Rubin, Larry and Bobby Friedman, Labette and Sandy Atlas, and of course Chad and Leah, and we want to mention Helen and Joe Abrahamson as well. Please rise.
Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam alla Torah ve'alla avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim. Alla Torah ve'alla avodah ve'al gemilut hasadim.
Halle, when we were together the other day, we were talking about the fact that we don't get to choose our families, but it's particularly special when the people that are in our family are people we would have chosen. And you, of course, were talking about all of your cousins because you have such a great family of cousins, but I think you would have chosen all of these people as well. If you look at all of the smiles on their faces and the love that's coming from their hearts, you are truly surrounded by your community, your great village, which has brought you to this day. And so we stand ready to pass the Torah, as our tradition teaches us, from Mount Sinai all the way to you, Moses, to Joshua, to the elders in the desert. Through many, 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 many generations it was passed until it reached the generations of your family. You're so lucky to have so many generations. We pass the Torah from one to the next. Through all of your grandparents, who some years ago passed it on to the generation of your parents. And here today, pass it on to you.
Havu Godel, Leloheinu Utnu Chavod La Torah. Let us declare the greatness of our God and give honor to the Torah.
Ki mitzion tetzet Torah, ki mitzion tetzet Torah, u'ne'ar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
Beit Yaakov lechu v'neilcha be'or Adonai. O house of Jacob, come, let us walk by the light of our God.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shema. God Elul Adonai iti, u'n'romemar Shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai Agdulah v'hagvura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod. Ki chol b'shamayim uva'aretz, ki chol b'shamayim uva'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'hanitnaseh lechol lerosh. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umelo. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umelo. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umelo. Shamayim.
We're going to invite Hannah, Aaron, and Zachary Rubin, and Jonah and Noah Rubin to the bima to help us undress the Torah.
V'tagel haaretz.
My Torah portion for this Shabbat is Nitzavim from the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, beginning with verse 1. You may find it in your Torah commentaries on page 1540. Please follow along with me in the English as I chant the Hebrew.
That was page 1540, which you can find in the large blue book. If you're sitting in the first couple of rows, you actually need to reach behind you. You don't have them underneath in those seat pockets. Reach behind and get a Torah commentary, page 1540. And I also wanted to mention that Halle is going to be using two different pointers, two different what we call a yadaim, there's two of them, for her reading of the Torah. The first one she's going to be using for a number of aliyot was given to our congregation in memory of Vicky Walzer. And the second that she'll be using is her very own, that was a gift for her bat mitzvah. For the first aliyah, we call Rachel and Matt Rubin, and Ali and Tony Rubin. Ya'amdu Rachel v'Moshe v'Tulsa Fega v'Reuven lichvod haTorah.
Asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. V'haya chiyavau alecha kol hadivarim ha'ele habracha v'hakala asher natati lefanecha lahashivota elevavecha v'chol hagoyim asher hidikacha Adonai Elohecha shama v'shavta Adonai Elohecha v'shamata b'kol kechol asher anochi mitzavecha yom ata uvenecha b'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha v'shav Adonai Elohecha et shavutecha v'richamecha v'shav v'kibatzecha mikol ha'amim asher hafitzecha Adonai Elohecha shama.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu
Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
For the second Aliyah, we call Michelle Gendlin, Stephen Gross, and Cameron Gross. Ya'amdu Miriam v'Shlomo v'Chaim lichvod haTorah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Im yichah nirachacha b'ksei hashamayim, misham yikavetzcha Adonai Elohecha, umisham yikachecha, v'aviacha Adonai Elohecha el haaretz, asher yarshu avotecha v'yishta, v'hitivecha b'kirbecha mi'avotecha. Umal Adonai Elohecha et levavecha v'et levav zarecha lahava Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha le'ma'an hayecha v'natan Adonai Elohecha et kol ha'alot ha'ela al oyevecha ve'al son'echa asher radafu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. For the third Aliyah, we called to the Bima Lanny Friedman, David Atlas, Mark, and Annie Atlas. Ya'amdu Moshe Mordechai, Shimon David, Mordechai, V'noga lichvod haTorah.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvarach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ve'ata tashu v'shamata v'kol Adonai ve'asita et kol mitzotav asher anochi mitzavecha hayom v'chotircha Adonai Elohecha v'chol ma'aseh yadecha b'fri v'itnecha u'b'fri v'chemtecha u'b'fri admatecha l'tova ki yashuv Adonai lasu salacha letov ka'asher sas al avotecha ki tishma v'kol Adonai Elohecha lishmor mitzotav v'chukotav hakatuva v'sefer haTorah hazeh ki tashuv el Adonai Elohecha v'chol lavecha v'chol nafshecha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yivorech et kol ele she'alu hayom lichvod hamakom lichvod Torah v'lichvod haShabbat. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah bless all those before you who have risen today in the honor of Shabbat, in the honor of God, in the honor of Torah, and in Halle's honor. And by this merit, may they be granted life and kept from all trouble and affliction, and may they know blessing and success every day, as together we say, Amen. For the fourth Aliyah, we call to the Bima Joyce Rubin, Larry and Bobby Friedman, Labette and Sandy Atlas, Helen and Joseph Abrahamson. Ya'amdu Yehudit Ba'aryeh V'Rivka V'Elisheva V'Shina Chana V'Yosef Lichvod HaTorah.
Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ki hamitzvah hazot asher anochi mitzavecha hayom. Lo nifleihi mimecha velo rechoka hi lo vashamayim ki lemor mi ya'alelanu hashamayim v'yikachecha lanu v'yashminu ota v'na'asena velo mever layam ki lemor mi ya'avor lanu el ever hayam v'yikachecha lanu v'yashminu ota v'na'asena כי קרוב אלך הדבר מאוד בפיך ובלבבך לעשותו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני noten haTorah.
Amen. Misha Berach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah hu yivorech et kol ele she'alu hayom lichvod hamakom lichvod haShabbat v'lichvod haTorah v'lichvod Chaya. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah bless the generations of Halle's family who have come to the Bima today to honor her, to honor Shabbat, to honor God, and to honor Torah. And by this merit, may they be kept in life and from all trouble and affliction, and may they find joy and success and love and peace each day of their lives, as together we say, Amen. And now we have come to the fifth aliyah, the penultimate aliyah. And this one is reserved for parents. So we call Chad and Leah to the bima. Ya'amdu hahorim, ya'amdu Shmuel, v'leah lichvod haTorah.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Amvorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Re'eh natati lefonecha hayom et chachayim ve'atatov ve'tamavet ve'tara asher anochi mitzavecha hayom lehava et Adonai echad lalech et birachav ve'lishmor mitzotav ve'chukotav u'mishpatav ve'hayita ve'ravita u've'rachecha Adonai elchecha ba'aretz asher ata ba'shama l'rishta v'im nifna levavecha ve'lo tishma v'nidacha ve'hishtachavita le'elohim acherim ba'avatam.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei lanu natan tocheinu. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. Misha berach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah, hu yivorech et hachorei habachura habat mitzvah hayom Shmuel v'Leah. May God, who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Halle's parents, Chad and Leah, who have come to the bima to thank God for the strength that they have been granted to help Halle reach this wonderful occasion. Bless them with joy and fulfillment today and every day, as together we say, Amen. Now Halle has come to her sixth and final aliyah, and it's this one that officially marks her change in status as a bat mitzvah. She will continue to chant from the Torah for us, but she will also offer the blessing over Torah. And to mark a distinction between this aliyah and the others, we're going to have her read from a Torah that remains upright in our ark. And so I'll ask you all to rise and look over her shoulder. Ta'amod habat mitzvah, ta'amod chaya bat Shmuel v'le'a lichvod ha'torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamevarach.
Baruch Adonai hamevarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamevarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol hamim, v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Higati v'chem hayom ki avot tovedun lo tarichun yamim al hadama asher ata over at hayardin lavo sham al rishta haidoti v'chem hayom et hashamayim v'et haaretz chachayim v'chamavet natati lefanecha habracha v'hakala uvacharta b'chayim למען תיקה אתה וזרעך, לאהבה את אדוני אלוהיך, לשמוח בקולו ולדבקו, כי הוא חייך ואורך ימיך, לשבת על האדמה, אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיך, לאברהם, ליצחק וליעקב, לתת להם. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Misha Berach, Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Yimotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah, Hu Yivorech et HaBachora Habat Mitzvah Hayom, Chaya bat Shmuel v'Leah. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless this bat mitzvah Halle, who has marked this occasion by being called to the Torah. She has come with reverence for God and for the Torah and for Shabbat to thank God for all the good which has been hers every day of her life since her birth. May the Holy One, praised be Adonai, grant her a long life. May she be at one with God, studying God's teachings and walking on God's path. May she prosper in all her worthy endeavors and find favor before God and her fellow human beings. And may her parents continue to rear her to womanhood, imbued with the love of Torah and the performance of good deeds. And may they be privileged someday to bring her back here to stand beneath the chuppah as together we say, Amen. You may be seated. Just as I have been asking for God's blessing on those who have come to the Bima, I ask for God's blessing on those who need healing, those who need protection. I will read a list compiled by our members in our community. In a moment, I'll ask if there are others to consider as well. We think of those affected by the natural disasters of the last couple of weeks. We think of Rita Sandstrom, Maddie Richter, Karen Dingle, Panina Miriam, Kirk Friedman, Chuck Conrad, Brooke Mylan, Donna Ciani, Emily Jarecki, Charles Abramson, Yarom, Andrew Jaffe, Marnie Lachinsky, Jim Levitas, Eileen Pachersky, Taylor Boyle, Mary Sue Kern, Tsipora, Teddy Aronson, Rhonda Garvis, Dina, Olivia Nord, Jennifer Nord, Lee Mannheimer, Sue Weber, Linda Pinsky Griffiths, Ellen Greenberg, Miriam Spillman, Ruth Weinblatt, Jim Landy, Linda Lindholm, Mark Van Noot, Rabbi Lynn Landsberg, Ted Richter, Sigmund Stern, Sylvia Topper, Shirley Thomas, John Trachtenberg, Naomi Reyna, Lenny Leader, Beverly Stern, and we think of Nadav Weinish, who is serving in Israel's Defense Forces, the IDF. We pray for his well-being. If there are other names for us to consider on this Shabbat in our Misha Berach, I invite you to add them silently or aloud when I look your way. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh Cholim. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, who brings healing. Our Misha Berach prayer is on page 32 in the prayer book.
To make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
As we prepare to lift and dress the Torah and Hagba and Galila, we invite Ashley Gendlin and Robbie Gendlin and Blake Hyman to the bima to help us. Please rise. Okay.
Vezot HaTorah, Vezot HaTorah, Asher Samosha Lifnei Bnei Yisrael, Al Pi Adonai, Al Pi
My Haftorah portion for this morning is Vayelech from the book of Isaiah, chapter 55, beginning with verse 6. You may find it in your Torah commentaries on page 1623. Please follow along with me in the English as I chant the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar bimim tovim v'ratzah v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'v'nviei ha'emet b'tzedek. Dirshu Adonai v'chimateo kera'u b'chioto karov ya'azov rasha darko v'yishaven machshevotav v'yashov el Adonai v'rachamechu ve'el Eloheinu ki yarbech lisloach ki lo machshevotai machshevotechem velo darchechem derachai neum Adonai ki gavu shamayim me'aretz ken gavu derachai midarchechem u'machshevotai mimachshevotechem ki ka'asher Yerei hageshem v'hashelek min hashamayim v'shama lo yashuv ki im hirva et haaretz v'holida v'hitzmicha v'natan zera lazareya v'lechem la'ochel ken hicheh Devari asher yetzeh mipi lo yashuv elai rekam ki im asa et asher chafatzi v'hitzliach asher shalachtiv. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sur kol haolamim sadik v'chol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'mdaber m'kayim shekel devarav emet v'tzedek al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu liktusha v'linucha lechavod ultivaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach v'merchim otah yipara shimcha v'fi kol chai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to services of my Bat Mitzvah. My Torah portion is Nitzavim from the book of Deuteronomy. In my Torah portion, God tells the people to obey and respect God's commandments. God says that if they do, then God will restore their standings and take them back in love. My portion says that you should love God with all your heart and soul. The topic I am going to talk about is when God says to follow the commandments, and if you follow them, God will do something for you. In chapter 30, verse 2 of my Torah portion, it talks about the idea of returning to God. A way to return to God is by following the commandments. This is especially important at this time of the year as we are approaching Rosh Hashanah. On Rosh Hashanah, we think about what it means to return to God. Usually we think about returning to God during Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. We think about repentance and saying we are sorry. My Torah portion teaches us that another way to think about returning to God is by following the commandments. I believe it is important to follow the commandments so you have a good relationship with God. There are different types of commandments in the Torah. One type relates to rituals, and another type relates to the way we treat other people. I try to follow both types. In my daily life, I follow ritual commandments such as lighting the Shabbat candles on Friday night. I also help others in my daily life, and for my Bat Mitzvah project, I am assisting a cheer team at Planet Spirit for athletes with disabilities. I will help them at competitions and throughout the cheer season. I see the Torah a lot differently now that I have spent time studying it. I engage in the commandments differently. I also have a deeper understanding of how the lessons in the Torah relate to my life today. Thank you, Heidi Roston, for being my amazing tutor and helping me get ready for this day. Thank you, Rabbi Locketts and Rabbi Kermings, for your leadership and guidance. Thank you, Cantor Seeger and Amelia Flegel, for the beautiful music. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for doing everything to make this day possible. And lastly, I thank God by saying the Shechechianu for my family, friends, and this beautiful day. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. We give thanks to you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, for sustaining us, and for enabling us to reach this day of joy. Amen.
Amen. Please turn to your prayer books, page 35, and rise.
Hallelu et Shev Adonai ki nishgav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, whose name alone is exalted. God's teaching is perfect, reviving the soul.
God's word is unfailing, making wise the simple.
God's precepts are right, delighting the mind.
God's mitzvot are clear, giving light to the eyes.
God's doctrine is pure, enduring forever.
God's guidance is true and altogether just.
Behold, a good doctrine has been given to you. My Torah, do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold fast to it, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Help us return to you, Adonai, then truly we shall return. Renew our days as in the past.
Ki lekach tov natati lachem torati al ta'azovu Eitz chaim hi lama chazikim ba v'tom cha meushar derachecha darchei noam v'chon netivotecha Shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu
Well, Halle, mazal tov. You did a great job. I know when we met the other day, you said you had some butterflies in your tummy and you were getting a little bit of a cold, but today all of those things went by the side and you just did a great job. And we know that in your own way you were loud enough for everybody to hear, even though you have sort of a small voice with the microphone, but that's okay. Small voice, but big spirit. And I don't know if you knew this when you picked your Torah portion, the part of the Torah portion that you read, careful there, the part of the Torah portion that you read this morning, I don't know that you knew it all those months ago, but you picked a part of the Torah that has my favorite bit in it. In fact, there's a line from your Torah portion, Lo Bashamayim Hi, that I have at the bottom of my letterhead. So every letter that I send out from the synagogue has a line from your Torah portion in it. And there's a reason for that. There's a story in the Talmud that goes with your Torah portion, that goes with that line, Lo Bashamayim Hi, which means it's not in heaven. And the story is that there were two famous rabbis in the Talmud, and they're arguing with each other. Rabbi Eliezer, who, generally speaking, all of the halakha, the Jewish rules and laws, go by whatever he says, is arguing that he has the authority. And the other rabbis are saying, yeah, I don't know, we don't really want to follow you anymore, and we're not going to take your authority. And so he starts to make arguments about why he has the authority. And the first thing he says, he's using magic tricks. The first thing he says, if the authority is with me to make all of the decisions, then that carob tree over there is going to prove it. And the tree, right when he says that, uproots itself, walks across the street, and replants itself. And all of the other rabbis say, okay, Eliezer, nice magic trick, but that doesn't mean anything. He says, well, you know what? If the halakha goes by me, if I get to make all of the decisions, then let that stream over there prove it. And right at that moment, the stream, the current, changed directions, and it went the other way. And the rabbi still said, nice magic trick, but that doesn't prove anything. Eliezer's getting mad by this point, and he says, if the halakha is with me, if I get to make all of the decisions, let the walls of this Beit Midrash, this house of study, let the walls prove it. And the walls started to cave in on all of those rabbis who are arguing with Eliezer. And at that moment, another famous rabbi, Rabbi Yehoshua, jumps up and says, what do you walls have to do with an argument between rabbis? And the walls stopped leaning. And the legend in the story says that those walls are still leaning exactly where they stopped those many hundreds and hundreds of years ago. And then Eliezer says, fine, if the law accords with me, let a bat kol, let a voice from heaven prove it. At which point God's voice comes out and says, why do you argue with Eliezer? The halakha always follows him. And here comes the line from your Torah portion. The other rabbi got up and he pointed his finger up at the sky and he said, Lo bashamayim hi. The Torah is not in heaven because you, God, already gave it to us at Mount Sinai. So you need to stay out of these arguments because you wrote in the book of Deuteronomy that when we can't agree with each other, we should go according to the majority. So, if you think about that story, some interesting parts to it. First of all, a rabbi yelling at God to stay out of the Jewish people's decisions about what they're supposed to do. It seems a little strange. But if you take a step back and really think about it, what he's saying is that the Torah was given at Mount Sinai. It was passed through all of the generations just like it was today, and now it's in your arms. And now that it's in your arms, we know what it says, and it's our duty to figure out how we're supposed to live by its words. You're about mitzvah today, which means that Torah literally was in your arms, but figuratively going forward, you're the one who carries it. And it's not in heaven. And the verse goes on in the Torah to say that it's not on the other side of the sea, that someone should have to bring it back to me, but it's in my mouth. And my favorite line, and I can do it, and you can do it. So your job as a bat mitzvah is to remember that you need to know what the Torah says. You can rely on your rabbis and your teachers and other people to tell you what it says, but you should never stop and say to yourself, you know what? It's up in heaven, or it's on the other side of the sea, or worse yet, it's somebody else's responsibility. Because now as a bat mitzvah, it's your responsibility, and it's in your mouth, and you can do it. I know as a bat mitzvah, you are going to take those words and shine the light of Torah into dark places and help us make the world a better place. And it's in knowing that, it's my great honor to invite Rabbi Krumings over to to join me in offering you a blessing.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's countenance shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's blessings be with you today in all ways, blessings of peace, health, happiness, joy, and life. As together we say,
Amen.
Amen.
We're going to turn in our prayer books to page 37 and rise for Elenu.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu kigwe ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkenu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום
Let's turn to page 39 in our prayer books and read responsively. At the rising of the sun and at its going down, we remember them. At the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, we remember them. At the rustling of the leaves and in the beauty of autumn, we remember them. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember them. When we have decisions that are difficult to make, we remember them. As long as we live, they too will live as we remember them. This morning, we think of those in our community who have died in recent days. Clarice Sorrell Cutts, Sandra Friedman, Hannah Lyon, Bernice Steinberg. And we think of those whose yahrzeit falls during this week. Joyce Black, Raymond Bluestein, Franz Boschowitz, David Claren, Harold Kraft, Wayne Kraft, Robert Fetter, Israel Goldenberg, Joseph Greenbaum, Gertrude Greenblatt, Bertha Hartree, Ronald Henderson, Leonard Hoberman, Phyllis Holtzman, Clarence Carrots, Carol Carlson, Marion Kiner, Minnie Kramer, Ada Leeson, Howard Lerman, Albert Levin, Ephraim Levine, Vera Lisogursky, Stell Mandel, Lois Morvitz, Pearl Oakes, Ruth Oberman, Marie Rammer, Harry Resnick, Jean Rodich, Millard Rosenberg, Ruth Roston, Grace Serber, Hiroshi Shimizu, Beryl Stanton, Myron Stuhlberg, Esther Tannick, Don Tukolsky, Lena Wexler. We also think of those in Halle's family who they are remembering on this special Shabbat. Evelyn and Lenny Friedman, Betty and Labe Goodman, Helen and Max Bialik, Charlotte Rubin, Justin Genlin. If you are remembering somebody this morning for Shloshim or for Yartzeit, I invite you to share their name with our community as I look your way. Zikronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing as we turn together in our prayer books to page 40 for Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrach hirte v'yamlich malchute, B'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala uvizman kariv ve'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam Olmei Almaya. Yit Barach V'yit Shabach V'yit Pa'ar V'yit Romam V'yit Naseh. V'yit Hadar V'yit Halle V'yit Halal. Shemei Dekudesha Barechu. Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata. Tush V'chata V'nechemata. Da'amiran Be'alma Ve'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen. Osei Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru Amen.
Osei Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu
You may be seated. We are going to invite Halle to come back over as her parents come up and offer a blessing for her this morning.
Halle, your Torah portion that you so beautifully chanted today speaks of choosing to follow God's commandments, and by doing that, you are therefore choosing life. As you continue to learn and grow and mature as a Jewish young adult, there will be a lot of decisions you will make. They won't always be easy. It is my hope that you will consider God's commandments and always choose life. So I'm asking you this. When you are challenged in school and you're juggling papers that are due and tests to be taken, be diligent, study hard, and choose life. When you fall or hurt yourself in your many sports, whether it be cheerleading, soccer, running, or any other sports, get back up and choose life. But maybe we put you in bubble wrap before you get back out there again. When someone tells you that you're not good enough to do or be something, show them how smart and dedicated and capable you are, and choose life. When you fall in love and get your heart broken for the first time, it's okay to be sad, but don't be bitter and hold on to anger. Move on and choose life. When you see someone struggling or alone, be kind, be helpful, and choose life. When you have the opportunity to improve this complicated world we live in, give back, make the world a better place, and choose life. When you celebrate Jewish holidays, go to Israel one day and continue your Jewish education. Keep the Jewish faith alive and choose life. And finally, when your parents ask you to do something or help them, don't argue and choose life. I love you, and I'm very proud of you and all of your accomplishments. Both Dad and I are, and we're proud of the young lady that you've become today.
Now going to invite Marsh Walzer, who is representing our board and our congregation, who will be sharing a few gifts on behalf of the community.
Hi.
Hi.
Shabbat Shalom. Take a first, before I pave my word, take a second and just take a deep breath and look around at your family and friends and love. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to say Mazel Tov. And when I heard you talk, when I heard you chant, one thing, and Rabbi Lakatz referred to this, is your small voice. Well, you taught us a lot today in teaching the service and teaching us your love for what you've learned and your family, and you taught us to listen more carefully. And I think that's something that's a big lesson you taught us as well as we go through everyday life. And the other thing that I want to share before I share the gifts is a special time, just a reminder that while this is a journey, I am remembering, oddly, 50 years ago, around this weekend, having the same Torah portion in Haftorah that we share. So Mazel Tov. I didn't remember it as well as you, but we have some gifts, and this is you signed your certificate already, so now you're official Bat Mitzvah. We have for you the book Text Messages that, as we shared with you earlier, you have an opportunity to read this before you drive. These are text messages from the Torah and study, but before you drive, because you never will be texting and reading at the same time. And you have a card signed by your classmates. You have a certificate in here to help you go to Israel. You have a Kiddush cup from the women of Bet Shalom. So on behalf, again, of the Board of Trustees, Mazel Tov to you, and Chad and Leah, Mazel Tov to everybody in the family, extended family and friends, and the warmth, and Shabbat Shalom to everybody.
We're going to turn in our prayer books to page 41 and rise for Vishamru. Halle, will you come here for just a
second? Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, ve'shamru bnei Yisrael et ha-shabat, la'asot et ha-shabat לדורות המרית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות המרית עולם.
על כן בירך אדוני את יום השבת ויקדשהו. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim. You can go ahead and take a sip and share it with your parents. Then you can uncover the challah for us and lead us in hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. B'te'avon. You can go ahead and tear a piece off, and you get to actually share in a piece of challah right now up here on the bima as we invite your classmates. Invite any of those who are becoming bar or bat mitzvah in the year to come, or who have become bar or bat mitzvah in the previous year, to come on up and join us on the bima. We're going to turn in our prayer book to page 42 for our closing songs.
Ein Eloheinu, ein Adonenu, ein Kemalkeinu, ein Kemoshienu, mi Eloheinu, mi Adonenu, mi Kemalkeinu, mi Kemoshienu, Nodal Eloheinu, Nodal Adonenu, Nodal Malkeinu, Nodal Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
Page 43.
May we be blessed as we go on our way. May we be guided in peace. May we be blessed with health and joy. May this be our blessing. Amen. Sheltered by the wings of peace. May we be kept in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to every soul. May this be our blessing. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.